Hi, I'm Emily Spalding and I shall be discussing my ideology. Through Megan's suggestion of ideology, I shall be discussing the role of the parent, learning and the role of the learner, teaching and the role of the teacher, and what is taught. Thank you. The role of the parent is very important to any child's education. Children learn through life experiences, as I have learnt over the course of my life through the opportunities my parents have given me. Whether this is learning to play the piano, my passion for acting and the theatre, or just travelling around the globe, it has all helped me to shape who I am. Early years are very important to children growing up. Our parents are our first teachers, and this is cherished through all forms of education. This is informal learning first and foremost, starting from home. Our parents' role is to teach us to walk, language through literacy, and morals through everyday life and the bonds of family. I believe we are all naturally teachers, whether this is through siblings, family members, friends, or our own children one day. We are teaching constantly. Finnish education does not start until the age of 7 years old, allowing children to be just that, children, and I applaud this ideology. Your support system starts at home. As Maslow states in his hierarchy of needs, it is a necessity to feel safe and that you belong within your family. As your support system, your family brings confidence within your aspirations and all your successes. This is how I want my class to feel within my classroom, that they know they have an individual importance and that they have a voice and every opinion matters. I feel learning is a lifelong process. It is something we naturally crave throughout our lives. Children have a natural curiosity, and it is something that we must grasp and explore while they are still young, and if taught well, it will never leave them. Steiner Waldorf values creative and artistic experience. I agree wholeheartedly with his view that you are completely free to express yourself through being an artist, but I also believe that learning structure within finding your creative passion is very important. I want pupils under my guidance to know they are in a safe, stigma-free environment to express their talents and explore this openly with their gifted subject. With this in mind, I want to stress the importance structure has within a child's day-to-day schooling. I believe schooling such as Montessori and forest schools have an importance to foundation key stage pupils with less structure, but as students get older, I believe that structure should be introduced more and more into their routine. Much like pupils have different learning styles and methods, so do teachers, and this is adapting constantly to tailor for the class's individual needs. I believe high standards are a good thing, particularly when it comes to education. This high standard, however, comes with a lot of responsibility on the teacher's behalf. British society has made it clear that teaching is significantly undervalued when compared to the likes of Finnish education. The changes made by Michael Gove as Secretary of State for Education have made a lasting impression on the teaching community and my start into education. Much like a classroom, education is still progressing, and executing these changes requires a lot of commitment and flexibility on the teacher's behalf. I believe that keeping up with educational politics is important for the role of the teacher. As teachers, we should have adaptable thinking, whether this is used within the classroom in the moment or planning beforehand. As a Montessori teacher would rigorously plan the choice of activities for their class to choose from, I believe this could be projected through all parts of teaching. When a teacher has bonded with his or her class, these choices become much clearer. I agree with the Guardian's anonymous teacher when they say teaching is a craft that takes time to learn and develop. It takes practice and freedom to reflect on what works and why it works. Montessori once said, "Children are human beings to whom respect is due, superior to us by reason of their innocence and the greater possibilities of their future." I believe the mutual respect is very important for the child and the teacher for their relationship. I believe that children will gain a lot more from their teacher if mutual respect is shown by each party. The education system has put an unspoken pressure on teachers to teach the curriculum while still achieving the best grades possible for their class when standardised testing season comes about. For a long time, there has been an argument whether schools modify their teaching merely with the goals to help their pupils to pass exams with satisfactory grades for publicity purposes. Through what we have learnt through the Finnish academic system, and through now changing schools into academies if they wish to do so, we are giving the trust back to the schools and the teachers running them. I believe that every curriculum can be changed to suit individual classes. As long as the core subject is taught, I believe that this is achievable. I want children to look forward to my lesson and what they might learn that day. I see it as my job to be enthusiastic, as enthusiasm is contagious and commands attention. I have to make the subject interesting to the whole group to find ways to relate the subject to their own interests. Not every boy will find maths or trigonometry interesting, but when it helps him work out his football team's place in the league, or just how wide an angle was achieved by a striker, then it becomes a lot more relevant. I see my role as finding ways to make a subject interesting in order to engage a pupil's attention. This might mean researching obscure facts and stories which help them to keep attention, or it might mean organising hands-on learning, demonstrations, visits to the classroom, or visits from the classroom, organising relevant objects of interest to be loaned to the room, anything which might improve engagement and to make a topic memorable. Rousseau and Pestalozzi said, "Children are educated through their senses." In class, I don't see the teacher's role as purely delivering information, but also that the catalyst for discussion and debate, so that children can learn from each other and explore each other's opinions and experiences. I would want my classroom to have a culture of respect for those prepared to share their ideas and contribute, where everyone's contribution is regarded as important and valid. Another dimension which must be cultivated and encouraged is parental involvement. Parental interest and encouragement is so important to a child's progress, and so limiting if it is absent or interrupted for any reason. And through personal experience on placement, the most important thing I have learnt whilst my time within a classroom was to approach lessons with an open mind. Lesson planning is vital, but I feel this should be balanced with expecting the unexpected. Pupils are unpredictable, and this should be welcomed.
Does there have to be some